Welcome to the Introduction to EndNote 20 video series. In this video, I'm going to show you how to back up your EndNote 20 library. One of the options to back up your library is just to sync your EndNote library with the online version of EndNote. This creates an online copy of your library. You're only able to sync one library with the online version of EndNote though, so this is only an option for the library you have synced with the online version of EndNote. For information on how to sync your EndNote 20 library with the online version of EndNote, please refer to video 7 in this series. An additional option for backing up your library is to create a compressed version of your library. So for example, in this library, if I were to want to back it up, all I'd have to do is click File, and then click Compress Library. From there, you have a variety of options to pick from. Create just means it'll create that compressed library for you. If you'd like, you could also do create an email to send that compressed library as an attachment. You could also just attach the compressed library as you normally would any attachment manually. Here you can choose whether or not you would like to include your file attachments in your backup. So that would be those PDFs that you had attached to your citations. Here you can select which references you would like to be included in your compressed library. You can either pick all references in library, references you currently have selected, or you can select references in a specific group if you would like. Once you've finished selecting all those settings, you can click Next. And then it's going to ask you where you would like to save that compressed library. So I'm just going to put it onto my desktop. Now, something I like to do is I like to provide a date for when this backup took place, just in case you need to keep a record of when your last backup was for this library. So from there, you could click Save. Now, what that's going to do is it is going to create a compressed version of that library, which is right here. So what this is it's a copy of your EndNote library, and it's just condensed down so that you can more easily transfer it. So as you can see, the ENL file and also that data folder are compressed into this single file. What's great about this is you can send it to people if you'd like to share it with them. You could put it on a shared drive if you want to. It shouldn't cause any issues. What people accessing this compressed library will need to do though is save it onto the hard drive of their computer before opening it up, and it should be fine. Now, one big disclaimer is this is just a copy of your library. So if other people were to modify this compressed library, it's not going to have changes reflect in the original library. This is its own separate copy. It's the same thing as creating a backup copy of your Word document. They're not associated with each other like they would be if you shared a library via the Share Library option in EndNote. So if someone were to save this library onto their computer and open it up, what will happen is it'll open the library up as an actual EndNote library. And then as you can see on the desktop here, it created that ENL file and that data folder of that compressed library. So it pretty much just opened a brand new copy and saved a brand new copy of that library, except as a full EndNote library, not as a compressed file. So this is a great way to back up your libraries. Just make sure to create a compressed library every once in a while when you make big changes to your library that you want to make sure you don't lose. And I would say this is probably the easiest way to back up your library, is just to create a compressed version of it. Now, there is another way too to create a backup of your library, and that's to create RAS files of your citations. So this is definitely the more arduous method of backing things up. And when you use this method, it does not back up the PDFs like it would for a compressed library. So if you are wanting to create an RAS copy of your library, all you have to do is click the folder where you'd like to copy those references, which I'm just going to do all references, hit Control A, and then from there you could click File and then Export. From there, you can choose the location where you'd like to save that RAS file, which I'm going to put it right onto my desktop. Backup, I'll just name it Backup RAS. And for Save As type, you want to make sure your text file is selected. For output style, you're going to make sure to select RefMan RAS Export. If you can't find that option though, you can scroll to the top and click Select Another Style to look through even more styles. From there, you can click Save. And what that'll do is it'll create an RAS of those citations. So what this means is it's just a readable citation file that EndNote can understand. What I like about the RAS backup option is it's super stable, but again, it doesn't save attachments associated with the citation. So if you were to want to access those references again, all you'd have to do is create an EndNote library or open up an existing library, click File, hover your mouse over Import, and then click File. From there, you're going to navigate to that RAS file you just created and click Open. From there, you're going to select an import option. So from the drop-down, you can select RefMan RAS and then Import. And as you can see, it imported all those references, which we'll just put it in an example folder, and you should be able to then access those references just fine. Thanks for watching. For additional information or support, visit the eBling Library website at https://ebling.library.wisc.edu and click the Help button in the upper right-hand corner of the page for assistance.